we're going to talk about how to be good with words. And for those of you who have gone to Edit Hour, you know that we spend a lot of time talking about written words. So in Edit Hour, we talk about the words written by students. In faculty briefs, we talk about the words written by faculty here. And then in this class, Editing and Advocacy, the whole point is to talk about words. And so, Mr. Patel, you want to read the title of the first reading that we did in this course?
The words under the word.
Yeah, so this was from a poet named Naomi Shihab Nye, and we focused all this time of words are so important. And so the theme today is going to be a little bit different. It's actually this, Mr. Patel.
Words don't matter as much as you think.
So to explain what I mean by this, I want to give you three numbers. The first number is 7, the second number is 38, and the third number is 55. And these are all percentages. So they're percentages based on this idea that if you and I are communicating, 7% of the communication actually comes through the words that I'm using. 38% of the communication comes from the tone of my voice, whether I'm sarcastic, whether I'm happy, whether I'm despondent. And then 55% is through what I'm doing right here with body language. Maybe I'm using my arms or even my facial expression. So we'll talk in a second about the small problem with these numbers, but at least give us a shot at why this intuitively, or at least at first blush, makes sense.
Because when we talk to people, we don't necessarily focus on what they're saying. The tendency is to focus on how someone's saying it.
Yeah, so we think about, are their eyes lighting up when they talk to us? Are they smiling? What's their mood? How excited they are? So the small problem with this breakdown, which is often shared in public presentations or how to give a public presentation, is that it's actually bonkers. Right? So it actually comes from the psychologist at UCLA named Albert Mehrabian, and it's 2 papers, both written in 1967. And what he did, Ms. Giles, is he took a word, it's like honey or thanks, and he said, look, say that to another person, and we're going to kind of evaluate whether there's a positive emotion associated with it or a negative emotion associated with it. So there's complications with these studies, but that's kind of the idea. And what he found is sort of when we think about saying the word thanks, a lot is communicated with body language, or he said facial expressions. Why does that make sense? The idea that a lot of what you're receiving from me when I say thanks is going to come through my facial expression.
Because thanks is like a positive word, as in they're like, appreciating what someone did. So you usually use your body language or tone of voice, like thank you, and you use your body for that.
Well, right, I could lean in by saying the thank you, or I could just be this sort of thanks, right? That's sarcastic. And you're seeing, even before I say the words, you're getting a sense of that feeling. So he said that also not just facial expressions, but both in the way you said it and the way I said it, maybe tone of voice, and 7% with words. So the problem with this study, in terms of extrapolating it for something that you all are going to do, whether it's an oral argument or talking to some board members, is this, Ms. Christensen.
You're probably going to say more than one word.
And also this.
You're definitely going to address more than one person.
So we can't really take this study and transfer it to these environments that we're going to be engaged in. And Mehrabian actually says this on his website. So Mr. Patel, you want to read from his website when he's talking about the wide miscommunication of his findings?
Please note that this and other equations regarding relative importance of verbal and nonverbal messages were derived from experiments in dealing with communications of feelings and attitudes.
And then he even goes further.
Unless a communicator is talking about their feelings or attitudes, these equations are not applicable.
So when I talk about this idea of words don't matter as much as you think, I'm not saying that we only focus on tone of voice and we only focus on body language and facial expression. We are going to need to focus on words. It's not just 7% that's going to be effective. But I think there's a better way to think about his findings in general and the way that nonverbal communication fits into good presentation. And it's this, Ms. Giles. You want to read it for us?
Speaking in public is, before anything else, being in public.
If you need to give a presentation, you need to get comfortable with being in public. You need to get comfortable with the silences that you create when no one else is talking, with having a bunch of people looking at you. So that's something that we are going to spend some time on developing. Not just necessarily crafting this great speech, but how can you get comfortable being in public?